Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got an update on a co-parenting battle that's giving less child's best interest and more personal vendetta. The father is making strides with his supervised visits with his daughter, even bringing her half-brother along to bond. Meanwhile, the mother is claiming safety concerns, but showing up on the father's Ring camera and running a background check on him after having his child, because that makes sense. The judge is trying to move the case forward, but with mom treating this like a private investigation, things are far from settled. Let's see how it played out.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state had all of its issues addressed in the last order, and so if we're able to finalize, the state would love to, but I'll defer to Ms. Garcia.
Garcia, you're opening.
Yes, Your Honor. I would be requesting that this be a further temp order today, only because we just had the 2 visits initially where Dad's finally been able to have contact with the child. If you'll recall, he was incarcerated for a long period of time after during the time the child was born and all that. And so this is his first contact. The 2 visits that the court ordered did occur at the visitation center. They occurred at the Access Visitation Center in Round Rock. Visits went really well. Dad did actually bring his 6-year-old son, which is the half-brother to this child in the case, and the visit went great. The both of them. Dad brought a dollhouse for the child, and I think they're excellent visits. I don't have really any concerns about Dad at this time, but I do have a few concerns about some of the things that Mom has said in the past, statements that she's made, and maybe some of the behaviors that she's exhibited. So my concern is that she's continued to state that she doesn't want, she's stated that she may not state that today, but previously has stated a few times that she didn't want Dad in the child's life. I know she sent some text messages that Dad forwarded me to Dad's girlfriend recently, making some negative statements about him. I know that she claims that she's afraid of him, but I know that she recently showed up last month to his house. She was captured on a Ring cam. At his residence. I did talk to, and I saw those images. I did talk to Mom about that. She indicated that she was trying to make sure that everything was okay with his girlfriend. I don't know what happened in that situation. And then Mom did express through an email recently some concerns about Dad having some history. I guess she did some sort of a background check on her own as well. And Dad had some history out of Tennessee. I did address that with Dad, and I did my own background check. It looks like it's some old stuff from when he was a teenager, and it's not very concerning to me, at least. And I can have, Dad testify to some of that here in a bit. I guess, Judge, essentially, my concerns are if we cut Dad loose with a step up and finalize today, there may be a situation that may arise later that could prevent Dad from moving on to the steps and getting to an SPO successfully. I have concerns with the parents' ability to co-parent in that sense. So I would be asking the court to maybe order a few more, maybe 2 or so visits, whatever the court seems fit, to be supervised at the center, and then maybe move on to some unsupervised without overnights and exchanges probably at a public place like the PD just for safety. And then maybe come back and see about finalizing then, and hopefully we'll be in a good spot for that to make sure that Dad is able to have that healthy relationship with his daughter. Judge, I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
I had to yell to get a docket sheet. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead and get some testimony from the parties. Let's see if the father is willing to go along with a couple more visits like that, see what Mom's opinion of that is. Because at the end of that time frame, I would want to start the break-in visits where he actually picks the child up at a neutral site. And again, PD's usually the local PD is usually my source that I use. And I would like to get a couple of those in to make sure everything goes the way it's supposed to be going before we call a day on this one. So at this time, let's go ahead and see what we can look at as far as scheduling and get this. Or not we got agreements or not. Okay. All right. So at this time, Mr. Taylor, please.
Sir, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and swear you in, sir, and get some testimony on going forward, what we're gonna do as far as the visitation package is, okay?
Okay.
All right, try to find a spot. Don't move around too much if you can avoid it, sir, because you might lose signal, okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Anyway, but raise your right hand. Thank you. And Ms. Jones, use also, and unmute yourself. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you're going to give this court today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you both very much. You're both under oath, and you can put your hand down, sir. And I'll let I'll let the state call you as witnesses, or do you defer to Ms. Garcia on this one, Ms. Mongat?
I defer to Mrs. Garcia.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Garcia. You may proceed. Thank you.
All right. I'd call the father.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir.
Please state your full name for the record, please, sir.
Brandon Taylor.
Thank you, sir. You may proceed.
Yes. All right, so the last time we were here in court, the judge ordered for you to have some specific visits at a visitation center. And you've completed those, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that was at the Access Visitation Center in Round Rock, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. One was in Georgetown and one was in Round Rock.
Okay. Is that what the visitation center set up for you? You had to go to different sites or?
Yes, ma'am. It was two different monitors.
Okay.
So yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you took did you take your other child with you to these visits?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was the purpose of taking that child on these visits?
So he can be able to see his sister. He never had a chance to see his sister.
Okay. Do you feel that that also was helpful in the introduction and transition to with your child, the subject of this case?
Yes, ma'am. They loved each other. It's like they instantly already, like I don't know. It's like they never not met before. They. Yes,
Good.
ma'am.
So they had they were able to enjoy each other's company during that visit.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you bring some items for the child to any of these visits?
Yes, ma'am. I bought her a dollhouse on one occasion, and I bought her a cat that can talk and stuff. And then on the second one, I bought her a horse. I bought her a horsey that she can ride. I mean, like walk on and stuff, and a doll.
Okay, good. And so would you say that those visits went well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And since that time, have you and the mother had any sort of contact or interaction?
No, ma'am.
All right. With regard to the child, I guess I was meaning, but all right. And so I believe you reached out to my office regarding mom being at your residence. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
When was this?
I'm not really sure the actual day, but I looked on the camera and I seen her.
Okay. Were you expecting her to be at the house?
No.
Okay. So you saw her on the camera. What was she doing?
I'm not sure. She was just pretty much in front of the camera. I'm not sure what she was doing. I was at work.
Okay. Did she ring the doorbell?
I'm not sure. I just caught a picture.
Oh, okay. You don't know if she knocked or rang the doorbell?
No.
Okay. And you don't know if anybody else invited her into the home?
No, I nobody else invited her.
Okay. Has she made any other appearances near your home? Has she driven by or anything like that?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
So just that one visit that you saw on the ring cam?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you willing to do, if the court orders it, a few more of these, understanding because I know that you're paying for these visits, are you willing to do more of these supervised visits at the center?
If I have to, I just have to. It is kind of expensive because no, I got my other son that I got to take care of too, and but if I have to, I will.
Okay. You're willing to do whatever to be able to work through and get to the point where you can have standard visitation with your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you made aware of an email that mom sent with concerns of some charges that you may have had in Tennessee at some point?
Yes, ma'am. I was somebody. I think one of your people in the office that called me and informed me on it.
Okay. And what charges did you have in Tennessee, if any?
She was talking about the charges where I had contributing to a minor I want to say that I was like around like 19 years old, and some of my partners was like 17, 18. You know, we was all young, a bunch of, and you know, everybody was smoking weed at the time. And so, you know, by me being 19, they gave me that because there was a couple of more of my partners there that was like 17
Okay.
at the time. I think I was 19 years old. I'm 35 now.
Okay, so that was a long time ago.
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, we know that recently you were in prison and got out and you're on parole, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
These are all things that were already in existence on your record when you met mom and you guys decided to have a relationship and a child?
Yes, ma'am. Well, we never really had a relationship, but we definitely had a child.
Okay. All right. Do you have any concerns that mom might do something or act in a certain way to try to get in the way of you and your visits at this point, or?
Well, to be honest, I don't really know what's on her mind. I really don't understand why she operating the way that she operating. You know, I ain't doing nothing but just trying to take care of my daughter and do what I need to do as a man. So all of the extra stuff, I don't understand it. So when a person operate like that, I really don't know what their intentions is or what their mind frame is. So, you know, I don't really know how to answer.
Has she reached out to anybody around you other than you? Because I know you said you didn't talk to her. Has anybody else?
No, I keep a small circle, so she haven't reached out to nobody. I don't really talk to nobody.
Did she text your girlfriend?
No. Those texts that I sent, that was from years ago. That was from before I got incarcerated.
Okay, so there's no recent communication attempts with your girlfriend that you know of, correct?
No.
Okay, good. All right, I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Mongad, you're a witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Excuse me. Mr. Taylor, based on the prior order where we had all the support set, you're not requesting any changes at this time, are you?
As far as what, ma'am?
All the support settings and your rights and duties to your daughter?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm long as she good, I'm good. I don't got no changes. I know
Okay.
that I have I just got served some papers for my son, so I don't know how that changes up things. So I guess they're gonna put me on child support for my son as well, which is fine as well, because like my kids, I'm gonna take care of them however I need to, you know. So I'm not. It don't, you know, I don't understand how people be upset about having to take care of their kids. I mean, I'm not. I don't. It don't make me no mind.
Okay, Mr. Taylor. And then again, for this case and your daughter, you and Ms. Jones Washington were supposed to communicate, through app close. Are you already set up to do so?
No, ma'am. I really haven't. I really haven't had a chance to set that up. I really need to. I can do that probably later today or something. Try to figure it out.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Taylor. Be right back to you, sir.
Yes.
All right,
Yes,
Mr. Garcia, call your next witness, please.
I would call mom.
All right, ma'am, will you state your full name for the record, please? And please unmute yourself.
Chanel Jones, Washington.
All right, thank you. You may proceed, Ms. Garcia.
All right, ma'am, you are aware that, well, I mean, obviously you're aware that these visits occurred at the center with you, correct?
We lost her.
Oh.
We actually lose her. She go into just the ether for a moment. Okay. Yes, it's not one of those glitchy, y'all. I think we actually lost her. All right, let's give her a couple of minutes to get back in here. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, sir. As soon as she gets back in, we'll start right back up. All right. I'm gonna just stop the thing.
Yes, sir.
My apologies, apologize.
That's no problem, man. We all have technical difficulties when dealing with Zoom, so we'll go ahead and we're back on the record, and I just paused it. So
The feed unfortunately cut off. But let's be real. We haven't seen the last of this back and forth. The father seems to be doing what he can, but it's clear the mother isn't ready to let go of the past. Every step forward feels like it's one stun away from dragging them right back in front of the judge. It makes you think, how did we get to a place where toxic co-parenting like this is so common? Why are so many people having children with partners they barely know? And when the damage is done, can the courts really fix what's broken at home? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.